Hi, this is Elliot Wave Sage. Let's go ahead and do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And the market is starting to rebound from its mini dip that happened earlier, and we should continue higher. So that was my primary forecast. It looks like we are getting that turn in the market higher. People, scared. We're too scared going into Nvidia earnings, and there's still just too much fear and doubt in the market, despite its elevated levels, which means it's going to continue to go higher. Mentioned this pattern that looks like will play out, and we should be making this turn into wave three of three with some really good upside. I believe that's what we're starting to see come out. So that's the turn. And yeah, so that's what we're looking for. And we're just going to continue higher. We're not in our danger areas yet. So anybody that's worried about a market crash is a false worry. The market has always been by the dip. It was not. It was again by the dip, and it's going to continue to be that way, that structure for a little bit longer. So don't get caught up in this market's going to crash narrative, and again, a lot of false prophets on the internet telling you to sell and buy puts, but they're just too early. They're too early. It's because this has still got um, more legs to go, this rally, and then there'll be a big decision in the market later, but not now. I still think it's more upside coming. So that was the indices. So the indices, as you can see, a nice three-wave move. Nice three-wave move. And now we're making that turn higher. Now, Bitcoin, some kind of wave four action again. And the longer we hang out here, it becomes a wave, potential wave two. And we are correcting the cycle. So really, this is done. So if that's done, this impulse is finished. So there's either two options. Either 5 extends, this 5 extends, or it's another 1 2, or it could be a 1 2 1 2, and we go to new all-time highs. So I don't uh, it seems like it's finding a lot of support here. It doesn't seem like we're going to just wipe out and go back down. So my guess is this is going to morph into another 1 2. And I will label this in the more bullish count for now, but you'll have to do what's best for you. But I would not be surprised to see something like this happen and you don't get any sell off of any of substantial, um, no dip. This was your dip. Let's see, silver. It is finding support here, and it looks like it's done this impulse as well off the low, and it should go higher. The dollar index has finally peaked. We have this nice little wedge that's breaking down, and I expect new lows down to this area. And this will also be the market danger area where it will be at risk for a bigger correction or crash. So this, as the dollar falls into this drop, the market should continue to melt up. Just the way it goes. That's what I see happening. Um, and the 10-year, it still held the pivot. It is really trying to break out, but it's got a very important decision coming soon. We'll see if we can break down or not. So that's the market. So now some of the technology stocks, guys, everybody is talking about Nvidia. We'll get to that. So where's Apple at? Um, I do want to see this little dip in Apple still down to 176, and that would be ideal to get that dip if we can get it. Tesla, it's still in this B wave, still in this B wave. It's kind of messy. Again, I'm still looking for this dip down. I'd be surprised if it's the correction ended here like that. That just doesn't seem likely. So looking for that. Nvidia looks like we have a wave 4 or a force wave 4. So now we need a 5, a 4, and a 5. And I still have my target. We have to get my target reset, but the target I think is $1,000. But I think it's still got more upside. And again, watch for divergence being erased. If that happens, then we have just another 1-2, and it just keeps going higher in parabolic. AMD was very close to a good buy. It may be too late now. The ideal entry would have been 158. Microsoft was really close and just quite didn't give us that entry. Adobe did give us an entry. So this, I'm looking at this as a straight down crash correction for now. So you do need to be careful that we are building a connector if you're in this trade. So you do need to play the possibility of another leg lower like that. But there's no guarantee that that will happen. So let's just keep that in mind. Other things out there that I want to mention. Let's see here. The most in Fubu, it's holding, could be a 1-2. We'll see if this holds or not, or it goes lower. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. If this is a 3-wave correction, it's finished here. If it's a flat, because it very well could be still, then it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do need another low. So that's the structure. And then GameStop, too weak for me. I do look at the structure now as this is a connector wave for this move, and now this leg will play out, and it's likely we'll break this low, just given the structure that I see. And if it does that, then it will take a fresh leg lower into the single digits, and I don't want to be on it. I don't like it. It's too weak for me, so I'm out of this trade. And this is why I always say sometimes I can be wrong, and you have to do what's best for you. And so it just didn't work out. This didn't work out. So it could still, there could still be, a last minute save here, like before we break, before we break this pivot. But I put my money in other things that are stronger that dipped yesterday. So I rotated into something a lot better, and that's how I trade. So you got to take the loss. So this is a lesson in trading. You never just ride it down. You got to know when to get out and say that you have a stop loss. And that's what a lot of people in the market don't have, is they don't have stop losses on price or intellect. They don't have an intellectual stop loss. And that's what we're seeing with a lot of bears still put out this crap about a market crash. It's going to crash and all this. It's top in. They don't have intellectual stop losses. They just continue to stick to it's going to crash. And we've all seen these updates. There's 20, many traders posting this stuff about crashing, but they've been posting it since January. We're going to crash. No, I mean it. Over here, we're going to crash. No, this is it. No, actually, that's it. No, this is it now. Oh, now it's the, and they just, but guess what? Eventually, they'll have it. But if you really believe in that, they have no intellectual stop loss. So you have to have a stop loss in price and intellect. And I believe the market is destroying one side of the market before it will destroy the next side, the bulls. But then the bulls will be completely arrogant, and they won't even they won't even understand what happens when this thing plays out here, which I still think is my primary view, by the way. This wave. So. But anyway, for now, though, we continue to melt up, guys. And I know people hate when I say we're melted up. They hate when I say, we're not crashing. They don't like my videos when I say that. They actually DM me angry. They're so angry because they're angry because they've followed false prophets. They're following people that led them astray, which is why I created this channel to help give people a different way of looking at the market besides thinking of the market like it's a chess match and I can be smarter than the market using all these statistics and indicator. You just need just a simple couple tools. I just use RSI and price, and that's it. And then, looking at the market for what it is, poker, and then doing the opposite of the sentiment out there. And for the most part, it works. So here we are, we're melting up. We're going to continue to melt up. And then at some point, a calamity will hit the market. And the bears more than likely won't be able to partake in a lot of that downside because they would have given up by then. All right, so then healthcare, guys, nothing interesting. They had mRNA parading them on the news today. So let's take a look at mRNA. Does look like an impulse off the low with a three-wave reaction. So that looks like an important pivot right here. That's got to hold. So it looks bullish against 84.11 for more upside, and you have this reversal, looking pattern. So that's mRNA, guys. And again, you have to do what's best for you, but that's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me here. Pfizer's holding on. Got that three-wave move. Got this 1-2. Hopefully get this breakout and we don't get this dip and we can call this a low. Pod in this wedge, it looks like it's going to come out before we drop to 183. You don't get the perfect entry, but if you're about to go into a 3 of 3, does it really matter where your entry is? But this is the most important low here. But right now, this looks like it wants to bust out of this and at least fill this gap. So that's a good thing set up to watch. Discretionary. Then here, it looks like we are turning off the low here in a 1-2-1-2 out. Lulu, this is the connector now, so we're looking for lower 411, 396. So we had three waves. We wanted to see it deeper. I was going to go long here. It truncated, which was people were still too bullish and they got trapped, and now they're taking a dump here. So you'll have another leg lower, similar to something like that. Starbucks, I still want it at 81. All right, and then let's see here, any other items. Let's go back to technology real quick and just kind of look at any other potential setups. That looks like Facebook. We won't get that. Looks like that's 3 something like that. Yeah, it looks like Google again is in a 1-2 like this. So Google looks like it's in some kind of 1-2-1-2 setup. 1-2. We'll have to look at the RSI. Yeah. It's Google kind of like that. How's Palantir doing? Looks like that's some kind of wave 4 here. Like that. I1Q. We'll see how it trades today to see if this holds up, but I would stop out here at 950 if that breaks. I already gave those. SYM. Another one stopped out at 36.97. I wouldn't be surprised to see a dip down here as well to retest this area and then have a bigger three-wave move. Shopify, again, very difficult structure to label. There could be a potential setup here if it were to dip to 69. Given the market support, I don't think that's going to happen. We have to look at the RSIs to see if the 1-2s are in place. We did break that low, but we held this high. We broke that low. So more than likely, this is some kind of flat correction here. So I probably would label it something like this for now. It's really the only thing that makes sense to me. And if that's the case, this seems to be too soon. Should go lower, a little bit lower. But I'm not going to trade this here or buy any more of it because the structure is not clear yet. We'll have to wait and see what this morphs into later. People were like giddy on trade desk. Now, so trade desk had moment of truth. It could find a wave 4 support here and bounce in 5. If it doesn't, then it's just a 3-wave corrective bounce against the against this cycle off the low. And what I would do at that point is relabel it, relabel this in a different way, probably more bearish label. So trade desk really has to take this out. If it could take that out, it negates the bearish count where 2 will drop back down to this area that I have here. It'll negate that, but right now that's still unknown because of this corrective move off this low here. So we need to wait and see how this trades in the next day or two. Robinhood. Robinhood looks like it wants this 5th wave here. Yeah, although if you look, it almost looks like this whole cycle corrected. So we need to respect that RSI. So we probably have the labeling off just a little bit. And then with the overlap, no extension, it would be another 1-2, which would make more sense given where the price is and what Bitcoin has the potential to do. Because I think this is going to probably trade with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin rises, this will rise. That's what I'm thinking we're going to see. So that's what I'm looking for Robinhood now, something like this. But you got to do what's best for you. I am looking at it as a low. Since I'm not calling Bitcoin lower, I'm looking at this as a flat here and then just coming out of this into a new bull cycle. Okay, so that's it, guys. So out of all the trades I've shown, the one that doesn't work was GME. So be it. A lot of other trades have worked. You have to be in other instruments besides, you know, these kind of names. Like even instruments that, you know, like international stocks like EWJ I'm in, EWP in this wedge breakout. There was another one, the Germany index had a great setup. So you have to like really search the market for really good setups besides your typical and I like the the German one a lot because it had a nice 3-wave move. It hit the buy area to the penny and we're continuing to new highs, breaking this high, creating a cycle that should take us now, you know, to $35, $36. So that's the German market. So there is a lot of nice things to trade out there besides the meme stocks, besides Nvidia. If you search, if you search enough, you'll find it. So today, Friday, I mean the market should continue to melt up, guys. If you fell into the short in trap or it's crash in trap, you're just not thinking about the market in the right way. But this market is not chess; it's a poker game, and the poker people got too bearish going into Nvidia earnings. There's too much FUD out there. Even on CNBC, you can never just expect a correction or say, "Oh, today is the correction this week," because there's no money doesn't come into the market this week. So therefore, I'm so smart. That's the way it goes. Well, if I'm a poker player and I hear people talking like that, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's what they're going to do." Well, let's let them trap themselves, and then I'll spring that trap on them when they are fully committed, and that's what they did right before Nvidia earnings, and now the trap is being sprung, and that's how this game works. They were better off not saying anything, but they can't help themselves because again it's that intellectual stop loss. They know so much, they just have to clear it on top of a mountain. How smart they are that it's time to short, and the market must top now because the 20 indicators they watch say it's supposed to, or Kramer said it's supposed to, or whoever said, but it doesn't work like that, guys. Unfortunately, and that's why this market keeps melting up at levels and valuations that make no sense. There's $1 trillion market cap because it's just a poker match, and the pot keeps getting bigger, and one side keeps, kind of falling into the same trap over and over again since 2009. But one day that side is going to really completely give up. You won't hear a whisper from them about shorting anymore, and they'll be all in on their own. They'll have all their cash in, and then you'll get your 1929 crash. But right now we won't get that. All we may get is something like this: is pullback later in the year, midsummer or early summer, and this isn't even guaranteed, too, right? This, and I mentioned that because we could still get Moonboy, and if we break 560, really, if we get up to these 550, 560 area, then this isn't going to happen. There is no barrier, and then it's going to melt up, and I could see it going to $1,000 in the next couple of years, SPY 1,000, before the grand super cycle collapses in a spectacular cataclysmic decline. But that we're not there yet. But we need to see a lot of euphoria and acceleration really in the next 30 days. If we see that, then I hate to break it to you, but there is no correction coming like this. There is no correction, and the market's just going to do what the market's going to do, guys. All right, guys, that's all I've got, and I'll talk to you later.